Y'all tell me in the comments, what is trench warfare? Do y'all remember what trench warfare is? And it don't have to be exactly how I said it yesterday on the show, but I want to make sure you guys grasp the concept. And if you guys are new to the show and you wasn't able to, watch this, don't worry. I'm going to catch you up to speed with everything, so you can be on the same page as all of us guys on here. And oh yeah, a quick thing that I wanted to share with you guys real quick. Y'all see the shirt? You win games at practice. You win games at practice. This is our other shirt that's going to be coming out soon in the merch store once we get the merch store up and running. We got the OT hoodie. We got the Teach, Critique, Repeat shirt that I wore yesterday. And then we got the You Win Games at Practice shirt. So we got 3 different shirts that we're coming out with that you guys will be able to purchase for yourself or your coaching staff, all right, or your whole volunteer staff, all right. Coach said, I like it. Yes, sir. And shout out to Miss Beast because she's the one that designed all the shirts and do all the printing and all of that good stuff. So shout out to Miss Beast. And I don't even have an answer yet. What's the hell going on, guys? Tell me, guys, what is trench warfare? My guys who was on the show yesterday, y'all should already know what trench warfare is. My new guys, don't worry, no pressure. But for my other guys, okay, here we go. For my other guys, you already know. You should know this. If not, I'm going to give you an F. I'm going to give you an F on the test. Oh, man. All right, so to help you guys out, this is what trench warfare is in a nutshell. It's a line of scrimmage battle between the offensive line and the defensive line, very simply put, okay? It's a line of scrimmage battle between the offensive line and defensive line, all right? And then, we talked about how do we win the trenches, right? How do we win in the trenches? We're going to dominate at the point of attack, right? We're gonna get maximum leverage. We're gonna own leverage, right? We're gonna play low. The low man wins, right? So we want to make sure we are the low man, right? And then we want to beat blocks with technique and aggression. We don't want to play soft in the trenches. And that's something you see a lot in youth football, right? You see a lot of players on the defensive line, they play soft. They come off the line, they stand straight up, and then they start dancing with the offensive lineman. It drives me nuts as a coach, right? To see a defensive lineman, defensive end, even a linebacker, they engage the block, and they focus on the kid that's blocking them. They're not even thinking about the dude who's running the ball. They're not even looking for the ball, right? How many of you guys have had players, right, that they're not even paying attention to the ball or the ball carrier? They're focused on the guy in front of them. How many of you guys have had kids like that? It drives me crazy, and I'm glad you guys like the shirt, man. Eric says a bunch of ballerinas. Straight up, piss me off. Coach Duke says battle of the down and dirty up front on the D-line. Yes, sir. And here's principle number 4 when it comes down to dominating in the trenches, guys. You want to create chaos in the backfield, and that's something we're going to put a lot of emphasis on today with the show is, how we create chaos in the backfield, right? And then we talked about the 5 commandments, Coach B's 5 commandments, right, of trench warfare. It's play low and violent. That's number 1. We got 5 commandments, right? We're going to play low and violent. We're going to create penetration, right? We're going to own the gap, right? We want to own the gap. Just being in the gap is not enough. We want to fill that gap. So when the ball carrier try to hit that gap, he's in trouble. He don't see, all hope is lost, right? He don't see a way out. Then we said the defensive ends win the games. They win the games. How do they win the games? I thought it was the linebacker coach. No, the defensive ends win the game. How do they win the games? And we was talking about this in the context of the 6-2 defense. In the case of the 4-4 Reaper defense, if you're running the 4-4 Reaper as your base defense, it's going to be the outside linebackers, okay? The outside linebacker is going to win the game if you're exclusively running the 4-4 Reaper. Okay, guys, if we go in 6-2, we know that those guys, and let me just show you guys real quick. If we're running 6-2, those outside linebackers come down. Y'all see that? And they become defensive ends. These guys become your defensive tackles, and then you got your nose guards. Okay, guys? But in the 4-4 defense, they are outside linebackers. Okay, y'all got me on that? So the defensive ends win the game in the 6-2. But the linebackers, the outside linebackers win the game in the 4-4. How do they do it, right? They control the edge. They like that. They like that they like that the hair cream that a lot of girls use. It's literally called edge control, right? They control the edge, and that's what it's about. And then this is the big principle that we talked about yesterday. Never get washed. Never get washed down the line. You want to always anchor yourself and fight the pressure. You want to always anchor yourself and fight the pressure. Y'all got me on that? And so I wanted to catch you guys up to speed on that, because now what we're about to do is we're about to get into the schematics of the 4-4 Reaper defense. And also, guys, as we go along here, feel free to ask your questions. Okay, we're gonna kind of do a rolling live Q&A today, meaning that as I go along, I'm gonna come back to the chat and I'm gonna answer your questions. So, guys, if you got any questions related to what we're gonna go over, or just youth football in general, feel free to drop that in the comments. Okay, guys, I'm here to answer your questions. All right, so let's get to it. And guys, let's start here. Let's start in the 4-4 Bama, or the base Bama, guys. This is one of my favorites that we run. Why do I run the 4-4 Reaper defense? Okay, and why have I ran it for so long? I run this defense because it creates, number one, balance. Number two, it creates versatility. I'm able to flex this defense into just about anything that I want to flex it to. Number three, I'm able to mix up my blitz packages. We don't have to be a one-dimensional team. And you guys know I will flex this 4-4 defense into a 4-2-5 Ring of Fire defense or 6-2 Savage defense. Okay, like we want to be able to be adaptable, and we want to be able to compete at every level, regardless of what the offense shows us. Now, for you guys who coach, let's say 8U and down, maybe the 6-2 would be better for you, right? So can somebody tell me why the 6-2 defense may be better for you if you are a coach that coaches, let's say 8U and down? Y'all let me know. Let me know. Let me switch here so I can look at y'all comments. Somebody let me know why should you may run the 6-2 Savage defense 8U and down. I'm just trying to see where y'all at with y'all. There we go. There we go. Coach Sanders says 98% run. Coach JB says predominantly run offense. Exactly. So understand this, and this is super important, guys, to understand the stats. I'm a stat guy. I'm a data guy, and understand that if you're a 8U team and down, those teams are going to run the ball 90 to 100% of the time. They may throw one or two passing plays the whole game. But most of these teams at that age level is just going to run the ball. So it's to your advantage to control the line of scrimmage, to dominate the trenches with that age group. Now, as these kids get older, 9U, 10U, 11U, 12U, if you go up until 14U. Now, by the time they hit 13, 14U, now those coaches, a lot of them you'll play against, they think they're in the NFL. So they start running Oregon's offense or running the Kansas City Chiefs air raid offense, right? So understand that regardless, though, of who you play, at what level you play, guys, understand it's super important. They're going to run the ball 80 to 85% of the time, okay? The younger the age group, that percentage goes up to 90 to 100% of the time, okay, guys? So don't get scared if these teams start running spread, right? And they're running these 3x1s, 2x1s, 2x2s, and all of that stuff, right? They're still going to run the ball 80 to 85% of the time. So that's why we want to control the trenches and dump. If we can shut down the running game, and I'm going to get fired up right now, is that our job in the 4-4 Reaper, right, is that we want to shut down the running game of the offense. We want to shut down the quarterback, and we want to shut down their best runner, their best athlete, which is usually that running back, right? Even if they're doing some kind of, some kind of shotgun split pro style offense, I guarantee you guys on the youth football level, unless they just a stacked team, they're going to have a really good running back and a fullback type. And that really good running back is going to get the ball the most. Y'all got me? So let me answer this question real quick. Coach says, what do you think about running the 4-4 stack? I think the 4-4 stack is a good defense. I've ran the 4-4 stack before. I've ran it even as an athlete myself. The 4-4 stack is awesome. In my experience, though, like the reason why I like running the Reaper is because it really allows us to play extremely aggressive. Stacking is you can really disguise a lot of blitzes in the stack, which I like. Don't get me wrong, I really like that. But I like to try to control the line of scrimmage, get the team shook a little bit, and then we start disguising our blitz packages, which I'm about to go over, right? So let's pull this up here. So as y'all know, this Bama base is one of my favorites, right? Because now we're attacking this interior. That's what we want to do. We want to shell shock these guards in this center. We want to attack that hard, right? Now, these tackles, yes, we're going to attack them too, but we really trying to hurt and put damage right here, okay? Y'all let me know why we want to put damage right here, okay? Let me know in the comments, why do we want to damage the interior? And I'll keep going, guys, for the sake of time, because I want to make sure I get to everything I want to get to. We want to beat up the interior because over the course of the game, what we want to do is we want those kids, we want to break their will to win. We want to break their will to win. So we'll start in the base Bama, right? Then as the game go along, we'll start doing Bama twists, right? Now we're starting to mix up pressures, mix up looks. Y'all know my other favorite, right? We go into Alabama, 4-4 Alabama. 4-4 Alabama is just a double A-gap blitz, and we're just taking it to them. Okay, guys? Something that I haven't mentioned to you guys that I think is very important to mention is that at the beginning of the game, a lot of times, guys, we'll go into this double QB spy look, okay? We go into that spy look because we do something that we call testing the waters, okay? Let's see how smart you guys are. When I say testing the waters, what am I talking about? So at the first, let's say 2 series of the game, and we're on defense, I do something called testing the waters. What is testing the waters? Y'all let me know. What is testing the waters? Let me see how smart you guys really are. Y'all been showing out all week. Let me see what you got. Oh, this is a good one. Coach Nate says you got to see what works. I like that. Great answer. Coach Dew says to force bad snaps and turnovers. I like that. I like that answer. Autumn Wynn says looking for weak points in the offensive line. I love it. I love it. Okay, Coach Dew says looking for weaknesses in the offensive line. Yep. Coach Eric says poking and prodding to find a weakness. Yes, sir. Good answers, guys. So when we're testing the waters, we're doing two things. Okay. Number one is we are looking for weaknesses in the offensive line, right? We do the same thing on offense too. We're looking for weaknesses in the defensive line and with the linebackers. We test the waters on offense as well. Which, by the way, you don't want to miss any of the shows next week because we're going to be talking about trench warfare, but on the offensive side of the ball. So we're talking about how to dominate with blocking on the offensive side of the ball. So we're going to be talking about the beast formation, the diamond formation, all of those different formations on how to dominate the line of scrimmage. But just wanted to put that bug in y'all there. But what we want to do when we test the waters is we're trying to see whether they're weak with the offensive line, but we also want to know what type of offense are we dealing with, okay? Because let's say, for example, if we are going against a team that likes to run, for example, the spread offense, I want to know, is this a true spread offense or are they just bluffing? You know, is this an offense that, you know, they just want to play you in space? They still run the ball, but they just trying to run the ball in space? Are they a true like spread team where they want to pass the ball to the perimeter? They want to pass it in levels. You know, they want to get you a deep game, intermediate game, a quick game. Like what type of spread offense is this? What I've learned in youth football, guys, is that most of these teams, they run these formations to look good, but they can't execute it at the level that it takes to be efficient, right, on offense. So if they're running like a shotgun set with, let's just say, 2-by-1 look or 3-by-1 look, and they got a weak offensive line, which a lot of these teams in spread will, hey, a lot of these teams in spread, guys, let me draw some up real quick. A lot of these teams in spread with like, they'll be like in this set, right? They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys on the line. And only 2 of these guys can really block. They may have a good tackle and maybe a decent tight end, right? Or they may go into something like this, right? And now they trying to just freak you out, spread you out, all of that. And they just bluffing, guys. A lot of these guys just bluff. So be extremely mindful of that, is that a lot of these teams, when they get into these little funky formations and stuff like that, don't get freaked out. They want you to get out the box. A lot of these teams will freak you out, have your, you know, let me show you this. Have your outside linebacker all the way out here, right? Have him all the way out there, out the box. You know, this guy may go into motion, come out here. Now y'all freaking out, right? Like, oh my God, look out for the pass. Look out for the pass. And as soon as the ball snap, this guy just gonna lead out, and they're gonna run a QB power. That's all they're gonna do. Right? Or he may just hand the ball off to the H, right? And he kick it to the outside. This guy in the seal block. This guy blocked. Now he just run all the way to the sideline. He gone, touchdown. That happens a lot. It probably has happened to you or you've done it to somebody, right? Don't let these teams get you off of your game. You want to attack the interior. You want to give them hell. We test the waters the first 2 series of the game. If I'm still kind of like on the fence of what type of team this is, like I hate playing balanced teams, guys. I hate playing balanced teams because when you play balanced teams, you don't know fully who they are, what they do. And usually these balanced teams, they'll run it off tackle. They'll run traps, dives. They'll do sweeps. Then they'll do, you know, they do go routes, post routes. Like those type of teams, you have to really be analytical and know how to play them. And you guys mentioned it earlier this week, you know, these wing T teams, You got to have discipline, right? You got to have discipline, and you got to be smart, and you got to make sure you set as the coach. You got to be sure to set your team up for success in these situations as well. Y'all got me? So you don't want to be too aggressive too early, and then you show your hand, you would get burned, right? So we blitz and we play extremely aggressive, right? But at the same time, at the beginning of the game, make sure you test the waters first, guys. Don't be reactionary, be strategic. I'm going to say that again. Don't be reactionary, be strategic. Y'all got me? Good. All right, guys. So let me get to y'all questions, make sure I'm not missing anything. X-Con says, trying to learn how the coach plays by watching a few plays, you can figure out whether he plays aggressive or laid back, also to display holes in the offense. Yeah, man. And I'm gonna say this too, guys. And I just thought about this. You know, you want to find out what their core plays are. Okay. Now we know, right, that most of these teams' core plays is going to be sweep, dive, counter, right? Sweep, dive, counter. What am I missing, guys? You know, it's only going to be 3 or 4 core plays, and what they do is they'll run those same plays in different formations, right? Or they may flip the play all together, but still run the same play. They just flip it. Okay, so understand that most youth football teams only got 4 to 8 core plays that they run, and then they got these explosive plays that they're going to try to do to set you up. Okay, if you learn what their core plays are, and this is why we test the waters as well. Once you learn what their core plays are and things of that nature, now you know you got a really good grasp, literally 80-20 rule, guys. You know what they're going to run 80% of the time. So if you're able to shut down that 80%, right, now you just got to look out for that 20% of plays, those explosive plays that have put points on the board for them, right? So that's why we attack the running game, right? Because if we attack the running game, we're tearing all that shit up, right? We're blowing all that shit up. We're going to take the head off the snake. Our goal is to get to that quarterback, shut that quarterback down. We want to get him not only rattled as an athlete, we want to get him mentally rattled. We want to take his soul first, right? Because if he's sick of getting sacked, sick of getting hit hard or slung to the ground, right? Now he's starting to make mistakes. Now this quarterback, let me pull this up real quick. Now this quarterback, when he gets the ball, he don't know if he's going to run or he's going to hand the ball off too fast because he don't want to get hit. Now a fumble's happening, right? Now the quarterback is confused. Now the coach, now we finna get into coaching psychology. Oh, man, this is a good one. We're going to get into coaching psychology. Now the coach mad at the quarterback. He going to either take that quarterback out or he going to have the quarterback give the ball to their running back. Okay? Or some teams will switch these two guys out. Y'all got me? When they see their quarterback rattled, they're going to switch them out. But what you want to do is attack these two guys. Number one, we want to get the quarterback. This is why we got dogs on the interior. And this is why when we start blitzing and we start sending guys, we want to know what kind of quarterback they got, right? If they got a dual threat guy, we definitely want to shut down the dual threat guy before he gets warmed up, right? They like to run through this guy. Let's take it to him. Now we take the quarterback out the game. Now they're starting to use their running back. Now we begin to attack that running back. And the assignments are the same too, guys. With our outside linebackers, they're playing contain and they're playing aggressive, okay? So let's see. Let's draw up some here. Let's say they're in the pistol. Let's do a pistol look, right? They're in something like this. All right. If this running back, they're tossing it to the running back to the outside, we still contain it. We're just taking it to him. Like it's going to be a problem. And as y'all know, I like for my guy to, what the hell is this? Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. What we want to do is we want our guy to round off, okay? We don't want him to take super tight angles, okay? Why do we want this outside linebacker to kind of create the rainbow effect and meet this guy? Y'all let me know in the comments. Why do we want our outside linebackers to take a wider angle, right? A wider angle and meet this guy opposed to taking a tight angle? Y'all let me know. And the same thing happens on the backside too. We want to round off. Okay. Now, if we know that they run predominantly to a certain side, very rarely I would say this, but I will have my backside linebacker. I have him tell him just go and eat, and he know he's just going to attack hard, submarine around and attack hard. But very rarely do I do that because I want him to be in the right position, especially for counter plays and reverses, right? So, like, you don't want to be. We play very aggressive, but we don't play dumb, right? Like we're very intentional with how we play, and we know why we do it. That's the biggest thing, right? Like there's a why, and you got to make sure your kids understand why we do what we do. Like just like I'm talking to you guys right now about going at the quarterback, going at the running back, shutting down the running game. These are the same exact things that I preach to my kids. So they know that, oh, okay, our job is to shut down the running game. So we know in the third quarter, fourth quarter, my kids already know, y'all. Literally, my kids already know, like, oh man, it's 21-0. We going into halftime. So they know going into the third quarter what the team's going to start doing, right? They're going to start just throwing the ball up, throwing interceptions. And my kids already know. They get pumped and excited about it. All right. Coach Nate says the reason why we take the proper angles with the outside linebackers is to keep outside contained. Exactly. To turn the running back to the inside, containing the edge. Yes, sir. Coach JB, force back to inside. Yes, sir. Makes the ball carrier cut up the field to flowing players. Great answer. Great answer. Yes, sir. Ex-Con said a kid rounding off is a strategy that can help you want to catch the runner in his path and to draw the running back to the line of scrimmage in the clutter of the line. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And here's another thing too, and this is really, really important. You guys ask me a lot. I get this question just about every day on social media. Well, what formation would you run to stop the beast offense? Right? I'm running the 6-2 or the 4-4. Nothing changes with us, right? But understand if you're going against a team in the beast, understand what the beast is. Most guys don't know. I'm telling you guys because you guys are fam, right? We beast family, right? So let's quickly draw this up. We're gonna quickly draw the beast up. I wasn't planning to go here, but let's go here. All right. All right. Okay, so let's say these guys in the beast formation, right? Shotgun set. So I know because I'm a beast guy that I'm either going to get down blocked or they're going to just put helmet on helmet, block the guy straight ahead, right? And we know this guy's going to get the ball the majority of the time. Let's say 85, 90% of the time, right? So our job is to treat this formation like any other unbalanced single wing formation, right? We want to occupy the gaps as fast as possible. That's why we will go into more of a 6-2 defense, right? And I'm going to show you guys another formation in a minute that you can use against teams that run the beast. Is that what you want to do is we want to occupy the gaps, right? We want to occupy it as fast as possible. We still want our outside linebackers to play the outside, okay? Now, what I like to do too is You can shift a little bit. You can shift over a little bit, something like this. But the key is, and this is so important, guys, take notes. If you're not taking notes, it's okay. Take it in your mind. Notate this in your mind. Y'all know how I am about note taking. I wasn't a great note taker in high school or college. I got my degree, thank God, but I'm more of a mentalist, guys, when it comes down to this stuff. So what you want to do, occupy the gaps, okay? Occupy the gaps. That's the key. Now, this is the thing, though. This is what you got to be careful with, though, when you're going against a team that runs the beast. If you send too many guys, you can get hurt if they go second level. That's what makes the beast such an unstoppable offense. It's difficult to stop because if they get leverage, which chances are they will at some course of the game, and they start, let me see here, they start down blocking. You see that? You don't want them to do this. You don't want this to happen because now they're pushing your guys back. They're controlling the line of scrimmage, and they got 3 beast backs that's just going to block. Boom, boom. A hole so big you can drive my Raptor through it. Literally, the hole is so big, and I can't wait to next week because I'm going to show you a little game film of some of the running lanes open up so big when you run the beast offense, and all the quarterback got to do is follow their inside beast back, and he's off to the races, and he's gone. So I would run the 6-2, but if you want to be safe and you got those dudes, I would stick with the 4-4. I would stick to the 4-4, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to just go down here. I will stick to the 4-4, but I may go with my monster look. Okay, guys? I may go with my monster look. And then we're doing play side floods, right? We can do monster flats. We can start to twist. Now, when you twist, you create a lot of confusion with them beast backs because if you're coaching them the way I'm teaching you guys how to coach, we know the outside beast back, he's gonna attack the guy out here, so on and so forth. And we're gonna do a whole show on this stuff, guys. So I'm trying not to get ahead of myself. That's why I'm kind of skipping and hopping a little bit. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Make sure y'all tune into the show next week. Or if you don't want to do the monster look, you can go to the Mayday look. This is the Mayday look. And the only thing really changes with the Mayday look, you got your outside linebackers, they come down, okay? Your free safety, he comes down to the second level, okay? And then your middle linebackers, your flow, your I call them, these are your reapers, these are your flow gods, right? Your flow gods, G-O-D. They help flow and clean up, right? They come back a little bit and they play basically the third level. They're like safeties. Now you got like a too high safety look, right? And so you may want to go into your Mayday look instead of your standard 4-4 Reaper base, okay? And it creates different looks. It creates different fits. It creates different problems. It helps to eliminate explosive running plays on the backside, and that helps. Okay, guys? So that may be something else you want to do. All right? Now, let me check out some of y'all questions. And please, guys, if you got any questions whatsoever, this is the time to do it. We got 15 minutes left with the show. And then we'll go from there. Let's see. Do I have my cornerbacks press? Usually, coach, and I know some of you guys know this, I love running cover 3 with my guys. Now, with what I'm showing you here, I'm showing man coverage with my guys. And, we will press, especially if we know these teams not finna pass the ball for real. Like, let's be honest, guys, about it. How many of you guys, and let's be all the way honest. I wish I could do polls. Let me see. I'm gonna figure out how to do polls on the show, guys. But How many of you guys put a kid at wide receiver and you have no intention of passing him the ball? Let me know. Put a 1 in the comments if you put a kid at wide receiver and you already know you're not going to pass him the ball. Y'all let me know. Let's be all the way real right now. And guys, if you're getting value from the show today, be sure to hit that like button. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Okay. Our likes was a little low yesterday. Let's go ahead and get them likes up, guys. Hit that like button. It only takes a second. Really appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss a beat on the show. Coach JB, 100. He all the way 100. Now, I'll tell you this, Coach. Let me read it, and then I'll say respond. Against the Beast, your right cornerback is out there by himself. You can bring him to the middle of the defense. Yeah, like a lot of you guys know, and I catch hell when I'm like in this, like on TikTok or IG or even YouTube Shorts. I treat my cornerbacks like an extension of our linebacker core, guys. Okay, on the youth football level. If it was middle school or high school, I'll teach it a little different. But on the youth football level, I treat my cornerbacks like another reinforcement of linebackers. So we will move those linebackers. We don't want to waste space, right? And this is another, this is another big principle that I want you guys to know. When you're going against a team that runs the beast offense, you want to play the formation and not the field. Okay? Play the formation, not the field. What do I mean by that? Let's go back. I hope I didn't reset it. Let's see. Okay. So what I mean by that is the way this set up right here, you're playing the field. Okay. You just got them lined out there because that's what you're supposed to do, right? No. You can move this guy. This is an extra guy you can use. Now, to Coach's point, he was saying you can move him more towards the middle. You could definitely do that. You could absolutely do that. What I would do is I would probably have this guy slide over here and just kind of play the counter. And then I may move over my more skilled linebacker, and I have a shift going on, right? I have some type of shift going on. Now we matching. Now we're playing the formation. Y'all see that? Now we playing the formation and not the field. And if we get hit with a counter play, we'll take it. We'll take it. If we get hit with a counter play, we'll take it. But what we don't want to do, right, is allow this offense to dictate what they're going to do on the scrimmage and shut us down in the trenches. Y'all got it? We want to control the trenches because look, if you're going against if you go against me and we run in the beast, you better have a really good defensive line because I train my guys to wash you down the front line. And then my beast backs go second level so fast that it could shell shock or overwhelm the linebackers. And my quarterback, he's gone, whoever's running the ball. And what I usually do, guys, not trying to get ahead of the show with the beast, is I rotate my beast backs at quarterback. So all of these guys get to eat. Then I got another group that I will put in the game to run the ball the same way. So it would be imperative to make sure your guys are really fast. They're following the principles, right, that we talked about. They're following those 5 commandments, right? We're playing with leverage. We're playing low. We're playing smart, right? We're owning the leverage. We're dominating at the point of attack. And that's the key. The key is dominating at the point of attack in the beast. And this one thing I haven't even said. You want to be consistent. You want to teach your guys how to be consistent at attacking because it's truly going to be trench warfare if you're going against a team that's really good at blocking. Now, some guys will run the beast and they'll set up the formation. And then they come to me and they say, well, coach, we ran the beast formation, but, we just can't execute. My guy's not blocking right. Well, you need to focus. That's a technique issue. You need to focus with your guys on blocking. How do I do that, coach? Bro, have you got my free offensive block and drill book? Get my free offensive block and drill book. I got all my drills there. Run and rep those drills. Teach them, critique them, and have them repeat. Put in the reps. That's how you do it. All right? That's exactly how you do it. All right, let me make sure I'm not missing questions. AJ says, should this diagram make any sense at all to someone who just showed up? Well, I'll tell you this, coach. After this show, go back to show one, part two, and this is part 3 of the show. You go back, you're going to learn my whole system and my whole philosophy, and guess what? It's going to make a hell of a lot of sense. Okay? It's going to make a hell of a lot of sense. As a matter of fact, guys, if this makes sense to you, give me a hell yeah in the comments. Give me a hell yeah. If you're new, I'm not expecting for you. It's just like jumping on the deep end of the pool and you don't know how to swim. Or there's riptides and you don't know what to do, right? Like, I'm not expecting you to know if you're just jumping in and you see this, right? Because we're in the middle of teaching a lesson. But what I do encourage you to do is, if it don't make sense, go back, watch the replay of this show in a part 1 and part 2, and it's going to make a hell of a lot of sense to you. Okay? All right, good. Yeah, so absolutely, man, absolutely. And are there any more questions? I want to make sure you guys get to y'all ask y'all questions today, because this is the last show of this week. And I want to make sure I'm able to help you guys and add as much value as possible. Okay. And be sure to hit that like button if you haven't already, guys. Okay. And while we doing this, let's quiz. It's quiz time. All right. To make sure everybody knows what's going on, right? In the 4-4 Reaper defense, who's the best player on the defense? Where should he be positional wise? Where should he be positional wise? Y'all let me know. Oh man. And also, you know, if some of you guys got questions after the show, y'all already know. All you have to do is reach out to me, DM me on social media, IG, or in the comments. I'm gonna get to them. Or you can always email me at bstyleu at gmail.com. We got right defensive tackle. Coach Eric says play side, outside linebacker. American Dog says, what was the question? I said, in the 4-4 Reaper defense, coach, where do you want to put your best player positional wise? Do we put them at one of these linebacker positions? Do we put them in the interior defense at one of these defensive tackle positions, defensive end, maybe a free safety? Or what about a corner? Where do we put them? Quizzing y'all. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. All right, there we go. There we go. If you guys said play side, outside linebacker, absolutely, 100%. Good job. So the reason why we know our outside guys, right? Our outside guys, they're going to stop a lot of the runs, because we know y'all know the percentage, right? Most teams are going to run to the outside 80% of the time. So if that's the case, we want our dogs on the outside stopping the run. And guess what? If they're not stopping the run, what we doing? We want to force the ball back in, right? We want to force the ball back in. While the ball's being forced back in, our dogs should be collapsing the pocket, right? They should be collapsing the pocket. Collapsing the pocket. So, guys, I've seen games where we'll run this, the running back stops and he tries to bounce it back this way. He stops, try to bounce it back, and guess right who's in front of him? The defensive end or one of these big monsters on the interior. So he's running to the outside. He has nowhere to go. We teach this guy to take on the block and kind of have an outside leverage right here, because we rather force him right here opposed to all the way to the outside and hit the sideline. We don't want that. So he'll run. Uh-oh, I can't go nowhere. Let me try to bounce it back. And when he bounced back, boom, I mean, hit stick. Like, you hear the pads clacking. And y'all going to see that a lot this year. You coaching that guy up, y'all going to see a lot of that this year. Y'all got me? Coach Baker, I'm putting my best 2 players at outside linebacker with the fastest kid at safety. Yeah, man, I like to put my smartest kid at safety and one of my fastest. He may not necessarily be my fastest depending on his overall skill set, but like my free safety is like, usually if I got a small team, he's probably going to be my quarterback, right? Because my quarterback usually know where to go, know every area of the field. He can direct. He already got a lot of influence. Typically, we make sure our quarterback has a lot of influence. And then that's when we start to do a lot of freaking damage. Y'all got me? Let's see here. I like what American Dog just said. He said, feed the dogs in the middle. I love it. I love it. So again, guys, tell me how many of you guys plan to run the 4-4 Reaper defense this year? Give me a 1. I want to quiz you guys, or more so poll you guys. I want to get a feel for what you guys are running, because I want to make more lessons around what you're running so you can know everything you need to know this season with being prepared. All right. And then, guys, if you're planning to run the 6-2 defense, I want you to put a 2. If you're planning to run the 4-2-5 defense, I want you to put a 3. If you're planning to run all of them, just put 1, 2, 3. If you're planning to run all of them, 1, 2, 3. Let me get a feel, guys, for what we're doing. Coach Sanders says 1. Coach Eric says 1. American Dog says ran it 2 years straight. My dog. Oh, man. I don't win. 1. Ran it last year. Great defense. Coach Sanders says 2, so he's 1 and 2. Got you. Coach Deuce, 1 and 2. Nilson, 1 and 2. Coach Hinton, 1 and 2. Coach JB, 1 and 2. I don't win. 1, 2, 3. And look, guys, for most of you guys in your league, all you need is 1 and 2. For most of you guys. Now, if you guys are in these leagues, like I see a lot of like these elite football leagues, like they run a lot of spread because they so stacked with talent that they will run a lot of spread. But for most of you guys, especially if y'all just coaching in rec, which I absolutely love rec. Like if I got back to coaching youth football again, I probably wouldn't do travel unless I started my own league and did it that way. But for most of you guys, all you need is 1 and 2 to stop the run and control the line of scrimmage. And even with that, guys, check this out. Let me go here. even with that, if you're going against teams that run spread, we played against spread teams in the 4-4 Reaper, and we didn't switch to the 4-2-5 because some spread teams, right? Again, they lined up like this. Let's just say they in some kind of 2x2, right? They'll spread you out, and all they're trying to do is they do some kind of jet, and then they got a blocker to the outside, and we know that they're going to run some kind of jet or something like that, or it get a quarterback the opportunity to run power. I've seen that. And if they do like pass the ball, they trying to get the ball to their best player, which is usually, you know, strong side guy. They trying to do a bubble screen, right? Something like that. Like the whole point of this, guys, and trench warfare is dominate the trenches. I don't care what the hell they run, guys. Dominate the trenches. Y'all got me? And look, don't let these offenses manipulate you. That's what they want to do. They want you to freak out and think, you know, they finna go straight air raid, run it like the great Mike Leach used to run it, RIP to him, or they finna run it like Oregon running, or the Kansas City Chiefs. Most of these teams just window dress and they bluff. But you need to be grounded as a coach, and your team needs to be grounded to play your game, to eat, to play efficient, aggressive, tenacious, right? Efficient, aggressive, tenacious. Oh man, I think I'm gonna make a eat shirt too. I think we need that. We need that eat shirt, right? All right, guys. Think that's gonna be it for the show today. I think that's gonna be it. But I want you guys, and this kind of my closing. And by the way, for everybody who's in the OT membership, um, I'm gonna drop some stuff in there this week, probably tomorrow. Um, but for you guys who are in the OT or thinking about getting in the OT or don't know about the OT is basically our overtime, right? This is where you get closer access to me. We're gonna start doing our Zoom calls, guys, where we really talk. I'm able to match faces, right? Voices with names and all of that good stuff. Also dropping resources in there that's not in the Playbook store. That's going to be exclusive for members in the OT. I'm going to start dropping stuff in there this week. So if you're not in the OT, all you got to do is go to my Playbook store. The link is on this banner right here that's moving. You just go there, join the OT. You're going to have to scroll down a little bit. When you first get in the store, just scroll down, right? And the OT will be there. We're going to really get in depth and really equipped to do what we need to do. But anyway, guys, I want you to just buy into being the best blocking team and tackling team in your league. And I want you on the defensive side of the ball to make your guys dogs with controlling the trenches. Y'all got me? I don't care what they're running. You just need to control that line of scrimmage because you're going to control the game. Okay. And Lord have mercy. If they're running some kind of like 5-man line or even 6-man line, you shouldn't have no problems with eating. Right. It's one more thing I did want to ask you guys and talk to you guys. Usually with your teams, guys, do y'all have big boys on the defensive line or do you have small guys? Let me know. Let me know in the comments because I want to help you guys with that real quick before we leave today. We never end the show on time. This is supposed to be an hour show. We always go an hour, 14 minutes, hour, 15 minutes. I'm all for it though. I enjoy it. But let me know. Do y'all usually, generally speaking, do y'all usually get like actually have a small offensive line? Let's say, a small defensive line with finesse guys, or do you have big guys? Let me know. Coach says big as possible. Coach Sanders says whoever's not scared. I like that answer. Who's ever not scared? I love that answer. Love this one. Bigs inside, smalls outside. I love it. Hey, American Dog says my thugs are on the D line. Hey, hey, absolutely. Hey, I tell y'all this all the time. I say this all the time. Hold on, let me pull this up real quick. Hold on one sec. Okay, so I always say the kid that's a bully in school that I have to maybe go up to the school and talk to him. I usually put him somewhere out here. He like an outside linebacker. And this, y'all see this little arrow. I don't know where this thing popping up from, but it's driving me nuts. But I usually put the kid that's a troublemaker as my outside linebacker. Now he has to have some intelligence now. You know, I don't want him to just be a ruthless dog and get, you know, out of position and not disciplined. But I like to put my dogs right here, right? And then I like a big bully somewhere in the interior, and usually he's on this weak side right here, weak side defensive tackle. All right. My smart dogs I put at middle linebacker. But that's true. You want your bullies, guys. Put your bullies on the edge and in the interior. Man, they're gonna be absolute monsters. Them boys be out there mugging the line. Straight up, man. Big guys in the middle, guard types at defensive end. Yeah. And like I said too, coach, and y'all gonna know once y'all get your teams and stuff like that. You know, I always say I like my short guys to be on the edge for leverage, like my short explosive guys, like my fullback types, husky guys. Like I like low leverage, you know, kids who can get leverage, who can, you know, hammer or rip really well. And then, you know, even sometimes with my linebackers, especially my middle linebackers, they flow a lot and they scrape a lot. And so sometimes those guys get lost when they flowing, right? So what I mean by that, not lost in a negative sense, but in a good sense, like if they're scraping across to make the play, like so, usually whoever's supposed to down block or even lead block, they miss them because of where, you know, how low they are. You know, I'm a tall guy. I'm 6'5", and I was a relatively tall kid in junior high, but then I hit my growth spurt in high school. I was 6'2" in high school. And so I hate being tall playing defensive end because these little short guys was like getting under me, and I hated that crap, you know. But as a coach, I started falling in love with the short guys because they can get penetration really easy. I love that. Another question for you guys, real quick. How many of you guys are planning to do camps this spring? Let me know. Or have you already started doing camps? Who's doing camps or planning to do? And let's see, it's April. It's April 9th, man. Like, if I was coaching right now, I would already have a camp scheduled for probably this weekend, actually. It'll probably be this weekend and then the 4th week of this month. Like, I'll already be doing my camps. Let me know in the comments, guys, who's doing camps. I'm shocked. Nobody's doing camps. If you don't have a camp scheduled, here's my challenge to you. Start doing your camps. This is going to help you get your kids. Okay? This is going to help get your kids. If you are in a league where they don't want you to try to get kids or engage kids until June, July, or August or whatever, you know, I still say engage the kids in the community. Okay? Don't call it practice, because really it's not practice. Call it training, personal training, or call it camps if that's allowable. If they allow that, that's fine. But like my league director, she told me, she was like, look, you can't practice until I think it's the first week of July. But you were like, but you can do camps anytime you want. Wink, wink. And so, you know, that's what we did. We just called it camps. And in the summer, we do summer workouts, right? So go ahead and start with your camps, guys, if you haven't already. This is going to, and use your camps to recruit. This is just a fun, fundamental camp. Community, engage the community, engage the kids, okay? You start doing your camps now. You start getting your core kids, right? You start having fun, you know, and it's going to put you in the head of the game with a lot of the guys who, you know, it's going to put you in the head of the game with a lot of the guys who do start in June, July, August, okay? Even if you only do one account, one or two camps, you want to get your name out there, your brand out there. You want the community to know that you exist as a team, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of parents that's looking to put their kid on a new team that got kids that got experience, and the parents looking for a new team because they weren't happy with the other program, whether it's like their kid didn't get no playing time whatsoever, and they're looking for a team that allow their kid to get some playing time, or it may have been a bad philosophical fit. Like our program is known to be a program that get a lot of kids from other teams where the parents just like, you know, I'm looking for a good program for my kid. And they see our program on social media because I'm always, you know, posting and promoting our camps and stuff. And that's what happened. That's literally how I met Miss Beast. Literally how I met Miss Beast. She had her son in another program and she wasn't happy with it. She brought her son to one of my camps. And the rest was history. As a matter of fact, the year she brought him to the camp, he didn't play for my team that year. They decided to stick with the team that they was with. Mistake. And she'll tell you it was a mistake. Mistake. And then she came back then the following year. And, you know, like I said, the rest was history. And I got, you get quality people by doing extraordinary things, guys. Y'all got me? Hey, Mar laughing. Hey, it's true. Look at Miss Beast. Look at Miss Beast, y'all. Hey, Miss Beast couldn't resist the Beast, y'all. Miss Beast couldn't resist Coach Beast. She had to come back. She got a taste of Coach Beast at the camp, and then she said, "Oh my God, I gotta come back to this Eastside Warriors program." Let's see here. Coach Eric says our league has flag football and stuff going on right now. June is when we can start those kind of things. Got you. Yeah, like flag football is great, man. Like if you're not doing camps and your kid's doing like flag football or something, that's great, man. You know, I have years where I function like a personal trainer, right? And I'll promote that I'm doing personal training, private training, and I get a lot of my big boys that way too. Because like I will set it up like I'm a personal trainer, but I specialize in offensive lineman and defensive lineman. That's how I get a lot of big boys. I did that like for like 2 or 3 years near the end of me coaching youth football. Okay, it's a lot of little things you can do, guys, but just see yourself as a marketer, guys. That's the key. You want to see yourself as a marketer. Don't get caught up with, you know, just, well, you know, we're gonna start July, August. No, go ahead and build them relationships now. Go ahead and set the tone now, and then it's going to be a lot easier to get kids and the type of kids you want, right? When you start now, because wherever you practicing, you're going to have people driving by and they're going to be like, who, you know, what youth football team is this? And they're going to see it. They're going to see it. They're going to see it. And then about the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th time they see you, they like, man, let me stop by here. Let me sign my son up or see what's going on. Man, I can't tell y'all how many kids I got that way. Just because of where we practice. I know most of you guys have set practice locations, but if you can practice where you get like high amount of traffic, and when I say traffic, just cars driving by, that's going to help you in terms of marketing, because most parents who got a kid that want to play football, they're going to find the first program they see that kind of stand out to them, and then they're going to inquire about it, and then they're going to bring their kid, and that's how you do it. That's how you grow, and not just grow, but that's how you get quality over quantity. I'd rather have quality over quantity, meaning I'd rather have a team of, let's say, 16, 15 to 21 guys who got potential to develop. Of course, talent, even if they don't have talent, they got the potential to develop their quality. I hate to say quality kids. Y'all know what I mean, though. Kids who can grasp the game well, or comes from a program that got a little football experience already. You attract those kids now, those type of kids now, opposed to, having a team of 30 plus kids, and it becomes a roster nightmare, and you trying to figure out, God damn, I got 10 to 15 kids that just don't know football whatsoever. I got to put them in the game. Like, it becomes a problem.